Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In this lecture, we will learn about the further areas, which are the areas where we will discuss about the relevant credit and cash sales comparison, and further we will learn about the highlighted areas for each of the key salespersons. And in addition to that, we will also learn about the buttons that are actually the slices which are used, and formatting of those slices will be used to integrate the data and to make it more attractive and interactive. Let's start now. For this purpose, we shall learn about uh, first of all, we will learn how to create the relevant credit and cash sales, and we can use the same pivot tables for that purpose, and we can only make few changes where we will use from the field list, and we will only choose the customer category for that, and we will have the credit and cash sales for that. uh, by using the same methodology, and we will be able to create the chart, and that would be the bar chart horizontal form. And before that, you can use the percentage from the list. And now you can see that we have created the bar chart, and that is the horizontal. You can remove all the irrelevant stuff and only make it just streamlined and uh, blanked. Only relevant stuff will be used. We will format it by using the style, and we can choose any of the style we will like, and but we are going to make it more simple as per the requirement of the dashboard. So we are only going to use the data label from the chart elements, and that will be used the data labels inside of the bars, and make it just the lines to represent the data. And we are going to select the inside and just to make it towards the right side, and you can see how we are going to format that. And we can also use the colors of the bars as per our requirement. By using the series name and value, you can have it just simple lines, and you can remove the x-axis and y-axis you know fields names. We will also use the category name and values here. Further, you need to format the chart, and for that purpose you will use the way by using the chart as no outline, and create the seasons in that original column and table where we have created the season, so we can see where the seasons are actually coming in. So this was the purpose of creating the seasons in that table, so you can actually adjust and create this kind of the representation for your audience, for your viewers, sorry. uh, so you can see that we have created the pivot table chart, and we will adjust it just to represent the base values, so, and the variation and the total value. So the purpose of creating the base value and the variation and the total value is that the bar chart will be actually used, stacked bar chart will be used for that purpose. But on the other hand, we will only be able to choose the no fill option for the uh, chart for the base value. So that is actually will be finished, and the upper value, that will be the variation, will be represented, and where the actually the seasonal variation is coming in. So for that purpose we will use the conditional formula to create the values and create the variations, and let's see how you can use. But let me clear it, the new versions of the Excels are actually giving this option already in it, so you don't need to do so much effort for that. But I'm using Excel 2013, so I need it this way. So the older versions of the Excels, and you can use this method. We have arranged the data as per the, you have already seen that we have arranged the data as per the seasons actually rotate in our year. So we have selected the cold first and fall and spring and warm, and we use the VLOOKUP function to find out the value, just to search the value and put that value just in front of those seasons. So the same case is there, and we are using the value, the first value for the base is just the 0. We will use the VLOOKUP function to find out the value and fetch the data just as per the seasons, and we will use the false for the exact value options. And for the variation we will use the conditional formula, and the formula would be that if the value of the total minus the value of the previous one is greater than 0, then we will consider, if that is higher than 0, I mean that is positive, so you need to consider that differential should be presented here. Otherwise we are considering that it should be just like as a 0 value. So we need to put the upper row for the first value as blank, so the value comes and differential is shown here. Now you can see that there is the differential. We will drag the formula down, and you can see that we have put the formula and to show the variation as the 0. Same case will be done for the base case, but only the first value will be considered as 0 because we are using that the first value as the base, as the starting point. So we are actually using that base value is 0, but for the rest of the values, for the base value we will consider the last total value as the base value. If there is going to be the differential, we are considering that the base value would be 0 again. That 0 will not be actually just the 0 value of the horizontal, but that will be used just the equivalent to the previous value. So it will deflect the negative side, and the downside trend will be shown here due to this factor. Now you can create the chart based upon this table, and you can format it. Just we already informed that we will use the base value as no value, but just using some trick that we will use actually the base value and go to the fill option and select the no fill option, and we will use the border as no border. Outline means no outlines. Now you can see it is created just like the waterfall chart, and it is actually presenting the variation for the seasons, and the formatting will be done according to the dashboard colors and theme. And you can change the title of the chart and colors of the bars and background of the chart as well by using the fill options. Now you can see it's just similar to the one we have already created in the dashboard. Now let's come for the bar chart to represent the key salespersons and their respective sales that will be used by highlighting the particular salesperson, and that will be used by using again the pivot table, and we will copy the pivot table and paste it somewhere else, and we can use these salespersons and their sales values. We are actually trying to find out by using this chart, we are trying to present the data in the form that which salespersons are actually giving us better credit rating customers. So the purpose here is just to ensure that our salespersons are actually giving us the good credit rating customers, and so the risk of default will be low. Then it is better for the company to recover the receivables from the clients. By using the pivot table, you will be able to create the bar chart, and that is just the simple bar chart. But to highlight a particular salesperson, we need to arrange the data and do some trick here. For that, we will just the copy and paste the values for the salespersons, and we will use the VLOOKUP function to just find out the data for the relevant value, and let's start. Let me clear it that cash sale will not be part of this, because that is just the cash and there is no credit rating will be required, because he is paying in cash and he is not taking any kind of the credit. So we are actually removing the cash sales from here. Now you can see that we are going to create this highlighting bar, and let's see how to create this highlighting bar. For this purpose we are going to use a short trick, and that trick is that we need to create a text box. For that you will go to the insert, and from there you will insert the text box, and by going there you can just go to the formula bar and put the is equal to sign, and just refer to the value next to the value of the credit rating of the customer, and for there you need to put the value I and adjust the size of the value in the bar chart around 400 in size for the text. So you can see that the text bar will be filled with the text, and you can change the color of the text as per the requirement. And I'm going to do here is just to fill the value as a gradient value. I'll only use two colors, light green and light purple here. Now you need to format the chart. In this way you need to first create the background, and that will be created through the shape insert, and you can insert the color as dark green, and put the table on this background, and you can go to the option of set to the background, and then you can put the table here and the indicator on the middle way. You can create the copy of different indicators and equivalent to the number of bars, and then you can distribute them horizontally and send them towards the background through the format option. Now we need to create the value I when there is a condition met, because we want to filter some values and just select the value of the filter. So for that we need to create the conditional formula that if the value by using the lookup function of a particular salesperson is equivalent to the value we have in that table we have copied just for the sake of the value, and that the value will be picked up from the original filtered pivot table. Otherwise the value would be 0, and in this way we will be able to select the value I for only those values which we have gone for the filter. Otherwise the value would be blank. So you can clearly see here. Now just you need to copy and paste the value for the formula. Here you need to adjust the text charts again, because as you have inserted the values different to each of the charts, so you need to adjust the value for all those columns with respect to the relevant values and then format them again. because you can see the value of the eye was very low, so you need to adjust it at the level of 400 size and color the gradient colors as per the original formatting we have already done. You can go to the text options and fill the gradient color. Now we need to insert the slicers and adjust the slicers as per our requirements, and go to the slicer options and adjust the values equivalent to the number of the persons which have the value other than the zero values. So you can see that we have set the values to the 15, so it should be equivalent to the size of the dashboard, and those values are represented clearly, and we need to drag it towards the horizontal axis so all the values are displayed. Now you can see there are the filters available here. Slices are actually used to filter the values, and they used to work just like as the buttons. They are beautifully to create the dashboards filter rather than going towards very different filters. So it's very good thing to show as the buttons, and you just feel comfortable and feel more attractive towards this thing, that just click the button and put the value as per your requirement. So you need to go to the filter option, those are the slicer options, and you can adjust the values as only to represent the values which have value more than the zero, because we have already selected the local market value as just this zero, so we need to put it just at the end, and we need to adjust the slicer options accordingly, and we can just adjust the height of the slices so only relevant values are displayed. Now you can see the values are displayed accordingly for each of the relevant sales persons. So the values here are actually integrated. Now let's see how to create the formatting of these buttons, which are called slices, and you just go to the format option of the slices, and for that you need to adjust the uh, color of the slices as per the requirement. We can format the value by checking which values are hovered and which values are not hovered, and what would be the color displayed in front of this. So you can see the formatting options we have selected, so you can choose this and save it accordingly. You can choose from here the format of the tabs, format of the fonts, and when you just hover over the buttons, and when you are not hovered with, so these values are adjusted as per your own just imagination. The purpose here is just to tell you how to do this and how this color is actually just created. So we have created it here, the colors of the buttons as just light green, and color of the text as the dark green, so you can adjust it accordingly, and you can already adjust it as per your own color scheme of the dashboard. It's very easy, and you can just try and test, and you can experiment it variously for your own requirements and needs. You can save this theme and you can apply the same theme on any of the slicer, and for the purpose of creating it more beautiful, you can create this and you can hide the filter option on the slicers by just creating the shape, that is the rectangular, to just hide those values. Now you can see how to create the slicer. You just need to go to the analyze option of the pivot table and go to the insert slicer and choose the slices as per your requirement. But as you know, we have to create the seasonal variation. For that we will just choose the seasons and the months, and we will adjust them accordingly just on the left side, and we will choose the same theme options we have already created. Now we just need to arrange them as per the dashboard design, and we will design it and drag it accordingly to show the 12 number of months and 4 number of the seasons, as you can see on the left side of the dashboard. Now you can go to the options and go to the theme options and just select the same theme, and it will just give you the same feel as we have already created. Finally, we need to connect all those slices so they all become interactive, and by clicking just on any of the slicer you can have all of the dashboard interactive. For that you need to go to the options and just create the connections for the slices, and you just need to choose all of the tables relevant for the data, and in this way you can see that your dashboard is actually interactive. You can just click on any of the button and it shows the variation in the dashboard. That is, hope so you have liked the lecture and you have understood what the purpose and how to create it. That's it. Thanks for watching.